Let's bring on Matt Duesterberg, CEO, founder of Ohmconnect. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, my pleasure. You are quite an entrepreneur. You're the founder and CEO of Ohmconnect, which it's not an easy job, but you work with smart homes and smart grids, making it simple for users to participate in demand responses from daily events. Let's get some background on you first, and then let's get into what Ohmconnect does for everybody.
Yeah, sure thing. Just a little bit of background on myself. I got my start in the energy industry in the markets sector. So I was a financial trader of future transmission rights, or FTRs, if you will, for a small company called DC Energy. So I spent 3 years there and then went back to school, got my master's in mechanical engineering, and worked in the utility side of the business. So I spent another 3 years working for a company that was very similar to O-Power. It was a small company called DataRaker. We were providing utility meter data analytics. That company got bought by Oracle, and I spent a few months at Oracle before jumping ship to start Ohmconnect.
All right, let's get into Ohmconnect. Tell everybody what is energy sharing, how does it work, and how do you help both sides of the equation?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned demand response. A lot of people try and plug us into kind of the demand response framework. That's something that's well understood by industry vets. We're a little bit different. We're an energy sharing service, and why I emphasize that is because it's different than what any other energy resource that you've seen traditionally, and it really leans into what we call the sharing economy that you'll see with Uber and Lyft or Airbnb for homes. So we don't actually own any electricity generation, but that's actually what we're selling. So we sell electricity generation to the energy markets, and we do so by aggregating thousands and thousands of homes reducing electricity during a given hour. And that's kind of the energy sharing framework. So we have, and for users, it's very simple. And we're right now rolled out in California, Texas, and Toronto, so the Ontario area in Canada, mainly driven by deregulated energy markets and smart meters. But what we do is we have our users sign up. They sign up just with an email address and their utility information. They get a text message or an email to reduce their electricity, and then they get paid for it. So if a user reduces 1 kilowatt, they might earn $1 or $2. They might be able to get some bonuses to get $4 or $5. And that money actually comes from the energy markets. The energy markets purchase electricity generation from Ohmconnect, which is the equivalent of energy reductions or negawatts. Does that provide a clear answer? I know it's kind of a convoluted idea, but this is kind of the evolution of what we see as Smart Grid 2.0.
Well, when you say, does it reduce costs, though? I mean, I can see how it reduces usage, but does that always equate to reduced costs? Because you're talking about peak energy consumption and sharing it and smoothing the grid out. Walk me through that. How does this work to the end consumer, and how does it work on the other side to the energy producer?
Yeah, sure thing. So when I was trading electricity, what we would find back when I first started, we would find that certain hours of the day accounted for a much larger percentage of your overall bill than other hours. And that could be on the order of 20 to 30x. So for example, say you're using energy of 1 or 2 kilowatts from 4 to 7 p.m. That might be, 20, 30 cents. But if you use it from 7 to 8 p.m., just that 1 hour at that same energy rate, that could be $4. And so there's this huge energy arbitrage here, which is kind of reflecting the cost of the grid to the end user. Now, there's been other companies that allow you to reduce your electricity and reduce your energy bill. We're the first company that actually pays you for that reduction. So we'll send you a PayPal check or a Venmo payment. So that goes directly into your PayPal account or your Venmo account. And then you can cash, you can do whatever you want with that cash.
We've got about a minute left before we go to a break, and I have a lot of other questions for you there. But talk to me in dollars and cents. So let's say the average consumer has got maybe, say, $700 a month energy bill. How does that work out in dollars and cents to the consumer?
We usually can provide about 15 to 20% of their overall energy bill. So for that user, $140. We have some users earning thousands of dollars. The vast majority of our users are earning $50 to $100 a year, but it is a wide range depending on how much energy you use on a regular basis.
Okay, Matt, let's do this. Let's take a break right now. To connect with you, how does somebody, I assume it's an app and an email, right?
Yes.
How do they get it?
Yeah, so you go to www.ohmconnect.com and sign up. You enter your email address and you're released to start sharing energy.
Simple as 1, 2, 3, right?
That's correct.
All right. We'll be right back with Matt Duesterberg, CEO and founder of Ohmconnect, ohmconnect.com. You've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba, your host. This segment brought to you by thevitaminpatch.com. Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. All right, my guest this segment, Matt Duesterberg, CEO, founder, Ohmconnect. All right, Matt, thanks for coming back on the show with us. Appreciate that.
Of course.
I've got a burning question here. What impact does it have on the grid? Does Ohmconnect have on the grid? And how does the recent news regarding the EPA reversal of the Clean Power Act affect energy sharing?
Yeah, both are great questions. To tackle the first one, we've already seen about the equivalent of about one big power plant that has been taken offline through Ohmconnect's reductions. So we have over 50 megawatts of energy under management in California, and that is displacing about one power plant at the time. Our vision is to see much more on the order of hundreds of power plants across the U.S. that are being displaced by this clean electricity solution of energy sharing. Regarding your second question, that's a much more thorny topic as some changes in the federal legislation has created some pretty major impacts on the energy sector. So just for some background, the Clean Power Plan was a bill that Obama passed about 4 years ago, and Scott Pruitt is kind of unwinding that, so just released a NOPR to unwind that. What we've seen at Ohmconnect is that it's actually evangelizing kind of the idea of energy sharing. So before, we were in a situation where it was very hard to create a direct impact on climate policies, so reducing your carbon footprint or kind of cleaning up your electricity usage. Now with kind of the federal legs being taken out from under them, people are starting to resort to what they can do personally. And this has created a kind of a frenzy, and I've seen this kind of on the eastern seaboard in Texas and California. And this is driving people to either get solar, EVs, and participate in products like Ohmconnect or demand response or energy sharing. So in a lot of ways, there's kind of a double-edged sword to this. While we don't have that federal kind of oversight on having a kind of a cleaner energy future, it's really becoming more in the hands of the end users, of the prosumers. And Ohmconnect, for one, is trying to empower all prosumers to do that.
Is that what you mean by gamifying it?
Yeah. In a lot of ways, having the attention of the consumer is very hard. And one of the biggest battles of the 21st century is how you can make a better app to engage the consumer. And in a lot of ways, that's where you see kind of the battle being played between Uber and Lyft. So is there a pathway for an app to be engaging with the end user in a way that they will want to reduce electricity on an ongoing basis? We are not, by any means, a novel idea. Utilities have tried this time and time again. In Texas, you have direct energy TXU, Reliant, all have programs very similar to Ohmconnect, but their retention rate and their engagement rate are much poorer because they don't really spend the time focused on the consumer. One of the benefits of having a very focused company on this energy sharing service is to allow us to build in features such as tokens or streaks or status levels or power-ups that really engage the end user. So most of our users are logging in weekly, and a lot of them are logging in daily.
All right, who's eligible?
So anyone who pays an electricity bill. So anyone who has an electricity bill is eligible. Now, in Texas, there's a slight caveat. They need to be integrated with Smart Meter Texas. So there's a new account that has to be created using whatever retail energy provider you have, whether it's Just Energy, Reliant, TXU, all of the above.
What is the main thing that has helped you grow the user base for Ohmconnect?
You know, it's interesting. I'm coming from the energy sector, but most of my team is not in the energy space. And that's actually what's created the most value, I think, for the company. I always envisioned that people wanted data and they wanted to understand their energy usage and be educated on the energy sector. But quite frankly, 99.9% of Americans do not care where their electricity comes from. They expect when they turn on the light, that light turns on. And that's the extent of where they want to spend time thinking about electricity. So we really lean into the other 75% of the company that understands consumers. So my co-founder helped to build Zynga, which is one of the largest gaming platforms, and some of the games you might know, Farmville, Words with Friends. And, you know, if you're able to sell millions of alien space cows, it's a lot easier to even pay customers to participate in some event. And so that's what we're seeing, a large amount of user growth in, across kind of the country.
All right, we've got about a minute left. Where did the idea of Ohmconnect come from?
That's a great question. So my background has history in understanding the electricity markets. I knew that if you're able to control electricity load, you should be compensated for it. Now, the policies weren't actually in place when we started in 2014. We actually struggled for a couple of years trying to establish, hey, there's a payment pathway. You could actually get paid for reducing your electricity usage. We've worked very closely with regulators across the states of Texas, Georgia, California, New York, to ensure that these pathways are open. And I'm happy to say at this point, it's really been changed. The policies have been opened up. It's a market-based approach. There's competitive landscape. There's other companies, not only Ohmconnect, participating in these programs to enable and empower end users to earn money for reducing their electricity usage.
All right, Matt, we've got to end the segment now. I want to thank you so much for being a guest on our show. Real quick, ohmconnect.com to reach out to you.
Yes, www.ohmconnect.com. And if you have any questions, we have a small little button in the bottom right-hand corner that you can ask any question you want, and we've got a customer service team to help support you.
Sounds good. Thank you for being a guest, Matt.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Matt Duesterberg, CEO, founder, Ohmconnect, ohmconnect.com.